Yeah, Vaidya, go ahead.
Yes, Jaykumarji, namaste. Um, the question I have is about this verse, the verse 50, talked about Manomaya Kosha, including includes the sense organ and the mind, Manaha. So why does it now say anything about the Karmendriyas?
Because that's not Manomaya.
Uh, that's the first
Karmendriya,
question I have.
did it come in Pranamaya Kosha? Karmendriya?
Yeah, it
Did
is
it
a
not?
part of it is part of pranamaya.
So if you look at shloka number 48, Vaidya,
Uh-huh.
Karmendriyaihi Panchabihi Anchitaha Ayam.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
Okay.
Karmendriya has been included as part of Pranamaya
Okay.
because Karmendriya is Rajo Guna Janyam.
Mhm.
Well, now we are entering Manas and sense organs which are Sattva Guna Janyam.
Got it.
That is the demarcation. That's the line that divides the two.
Okay, that's good. And then the second question I have is this word Vishayatva Hetuhu. Hetuhu usually means cause, isn't it?
Yes.
So how do you break, how do you explain Vishayatva Hetuhu?
Yeah. The hetu, so here it is karmadharaya samasa. So vishayatvam hetu. So the cause, mind is the cause of, you can say, cause of objectifying. Vishayatvam is what? Objectification. Objectification.
Mhm.
Only the mind objectifies. The sense organs don't objectify because sense
Okay,
organs don't have the ability to conclude what it is seeing. Eye doesn't know what the eye is seeing. The mind has to come and say, hey, what I'm seeing is the tree, what I'm seeing is the computer, like that. Okay, that way the mind is very powerful. And so,
okay.
what was the translation we gave? Something. It is the um,
Object, it's an
yeah,
object of the Sakshi. It also
it's
objectifies
an
other
object
Vishaya.
of perception.
Yeah.
So mind is not only an instrument of objectifying things, but mind is also an object.
Right. The object of Sakshi.
Correct.
Yeah, but here the Vishayatva Hetu is objectifying other Vishayas.
No, you have to stretch it. You have to stretch it to being an object also.
Oh, I see. How's that?
It is of the nature of the object. Mind is of the nature of the object. Okay, let the mind do all kinds of stuff. But when it compared to Atma, is there a difference between mind and Atma? Yeah, there
Yes.
is a difference. What is the difference? Mind is an object. Atma is not an object. It is
Right.
subject. It is drashta.
Right.
That we have to come to that point.
Right.
Not only the mind gives me the ability to objectify the entire universe, but the mind itself is an object of Atma. So that's the meaning Swamiji is giving here. It's an object of perception, he says.
Hmm.
Why he should say that? Why Shankara should say that?
Object of perception meaning object of the Sakshi, right?
Object of Sakshi, correct. And so, see what happens. There are two things. One is sense organs.
Yeah.
And through the sense organs, what we have is the capacity to perceive things. So that's why it's called perception. When we say perception, it typically refers to sense organs.
Yeah.
It does not refer to mind. But
Uh-huh.
when we suppose I say, what is that? It's a tree. What is that? It's a car. What is that? Oh, that's my friend. Okay. All perception, perception, perception. What is that? That is the moon. Perception. Okay. Everything is perception. Perception. Object of perception. Okay. Now I'll ask you a question. Are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. How do you know you're happy? I
Because
know.
you objectified the emotion of happiness which is there in your mind.
You objectified the emotion of happiness and without using the sense organs.
Right.
You don't need to use the sense of closing the eyes itself. I can say I'm happy. Closing everything,
Yes.
I can say I'm happy. The three monkeys, whatever they have, no. So I can do that. I can do that. I can still say I'm happy. Why? Therefore, we don't say this happiness is pratyaksham. We say happiness is sakshi pratyaksham. The technical word in Vedanta. Sakshi pratyaksham means all the emotions, thoughts that are happening in the mind are all sakshi pratyaksham.
Mm.
So to differentiate that pratyaksham from sakshi, this word is used vishayatva hetoho. So therefore, bottom line is what? The mind objectifying so many objects out there, you can include it, but you have to take it further and say mind itself is an object. Mind being mind being an object of sakshi. That is the hetu. That is the hetu. Mind being a vishaya.
Mm.
What about Atma? Atma is avishaya.
Mm.
So he's just honing in on that. Despite adi antatvat parinami bhavat, that is true with pranamaya also. That is true with annamaya also. Everything is adi antatvat only. Antavatvat.
Yes.
Parinami
Right.
bhavat. Even annamaya is parinami bhavat. This body is parinami
Yes.
bhavat.
Yes.
And so, dukkhatmakatva is a bit new. Bit new to
Mhm.
manomaya. Now
Right.
what else is new? That is Vishayatva Heto. Vishayatva Heto, even Annamaya is Vishaya only.
Mm.
But he is reminding, don't take Manomaya as yourself because I am habitually taking it, used to taking it as myself. No,
Mm.
no, Manomaya, Manaha also is Vishaya.
Mhm.
That's the message here.
So in
That's how I.
Sanskritam, how will you say the Sakshi Pratyaksham? That's what you say.
You can say Sakshi Pratyakshatvat.
Mm.
Manomaya Sakshi Pratyakshatvat. Sakshi Atma na bhavati.
Mm.
How can the object of Sakshi and Sakshi be identical?
Mm.
That is the question he's asking.
Mm.
Katham.
Yeah.
Katham Sakshi Pratyaksham Manomayaha or Manaha Sakshi Atma bhavati.
Yeah.
Hmm. So I forgot to explain that Sakshi Pratyaksham in class.
Thank you. Thank you,
Hmm.
Jayakumarji.
Yeah, Premaji, then Srividya and Sita.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Referring to the mind being subtler than the pranamaya, you mentioned nirgalam, swakarya. I didn't complete the
Okay,
sentence.
so Nirargalam, you have to say Nirargalam.
Nirgalam.
Hmm. Nirargalam Swakaryam Karoti. What a phrase they use. Swakaryam Karoti we know. Its own job it does. Swakaryam Karoti. That much we know. And how does it do? Nirargalam. Mind doesn't even ask my permission. My mind. You should ask my permission, no? Without my permission, it just roams all over. Argalam means impeded, constrained. Nirargalam, unimpeded, unconstrained. That is the meaning that Shringeri Swamiji gives for Vijrumbati, Vijrumbate. Nirargalam. Very interesting word. I had to look it up yesterday in Kosha. I didn't know what it was.
We see this word Argala Stotra and all where it key to all the mantras.
Durga Saptashati.
Durga
Argala.
Saptashati, Argala
Yeah.
Stotra and all we see, no? Argala
Okay,
is
it
the
comes.
key.
It's
Durga
Argala
the
Stotra
Shaptashati.
is part before Durga Saptashati. You say Argala Stotra.
Keelakam, Argalam,
Ah,
Kavach. All those you have to say.
correct. Now I've
Khadgamala.
heard.
After the
I've
Nyasa
heard.
and all.
First
What is
Kavacham,
it?
then Argala,
After Nyasam, Mahanyasam, then
Yeah,
Kavacham, Argalam,
right,
Tilaka.
right,
Lakam.
right. So that Nyasa is there, correct. And then Sankalpa and all comes. Good. Very good.
And
It
Guruji,
comes in Yadava
Yes,
Abhyudayam also. Mm.
Mhm.
They say in poetry also in Telugu, Nirarganga Kavitvam Cheptunnadi, and they like without stopping, like without saying, they say in Telugu, they say like for Garkipati, if you listen to his pravachnas and all this, he will
Correct.
mention.
Correct. You're right. Good. Nirargalanga. So just words are just flowing out.
Yeah.
We only because the clock is the only thing that is stopping this person from talking. That is the meaning, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It
and
says in
Guruji, in
Tamil,
the Manomaya Kosha,
Ut,
it is because it is the cause of the division of objects is mine and I, and therefore it is considered as Dukkha Swarupa.
Kaswarupam is different. Kaswarupam is if this whole happiness, sorrow happens in the mind. It's a function of the mind to encapsulate these emotions. And so, because Atma being Ananda Swarupa, then where does Dukkham come? How do you attribute, who, to whom, to which entity can you attribute Dukkham? Atma takes up Ananda Swarupam. Happiness can't be created. We think it is being created. All right, let it be so. But it is because Manaha is Dukkha Swarupam. It's wrong thinking is what creates Dukkham for me. And it will always be wrong until it knows its real self. Until this guy knows that I am not the mind, this mind will always give this person sorrow. Can we say that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So because
That's why you said it has a beginning and an end and is subject to changes
Mm.
and has sorrow as its very nature.
Mm.
So Guruji, you sometime back said Kosha is Avarna. So Dukkha is an Avarna to Ananda here.
Correct. I mean, everything is. No, Avarana, I won't say. I don't think we should say Dukkha is Avarana. Avarana is something that blocks. Vikshepa is that which I project. So, no, Avarana you can't say. You can't say Dukkham is Avaranam to Atma. Because Dukkham comes afterwards. I project something and then I become unhappy. I create something, I become unhappy. I imagine something, then I become unhappy. I have to imagine, it's hard in order to become unhappy, correct? I have to think it, I have to keep on. Somebody shouts at us and we get upset. Somebody insults us, we get upset. You know how difficult it is to unupset ourselves? Very difficult because it's just stuck. How could he do that? How could she do that? What kind of question is it? Like this, we keep on thinking. So we have to work hard to be unhappy. How about that? We have to work hard to be unhappy. So dukkham is saralam for the mind. You give it a little extra room, it will make you unhappy. So that's why maturity is such an important thing. To be really free, to be really yourself and be happy, it's supposed to be the normal nature of the human being. But Chakra is here saying, no, it's not the normal nature. Even though it ought to be the normal nature. Good. Thank you, Premaji. Sri Vidya, Ramu, and Sita.
Namaskaram, Guruji. Uh,
Namaskaram.
just in this verse, I couldn't understand the parinami bhavat, parinami bhavat.
Parinami
Uh,
bhava.
uh,
So bhava means nature. Again, nature. It is of the nature of change. Parinami means vikaraha. Vikara bhavat. It's something that keeps changing all the time. It has no one form. It has no one
what
form.
kind, what kind of forms it will? The Manomaya Kosha takes.
Yeah. Let's look at mind. What is the form of the mind? What is the rupa of the mind? If you say, well, mind is the subtlest thing. It's hard to put a form to the mind. You can put a form to the brain. Brain has a form, fixed form. But the mind is crazy. It is it is just all the electrical pulses going all over, giving us the impression that we have a faculty there. And so it doesn't, it's just the only form you can give to the mind is whenever there is a thought, we call the thought, you can call the thought the mind. Or often we say, my mind had this thought. Like that, we normally say. Okay. But the thoughts are all changing constantly. That much we can agree, no?
Yes.
That much we can agree. Therefore, if somebody asks, is mind parinami or aparinami? What will we say? Parinami only, no?
But doesn't that involve our manas also?
Correct. I'm talking about the manas only now. Now, all the discussion I had so far was manas only. Manas only. Manomaya contains the mind, includes the mind and its sense organs. Sense organs, of course, is parinami. How do I know it is parinami? How do I know sense organs is parinami?
It has Satvara, Jastama, Guna.
Yeah, it has sattva rajas tamas, but I also know that these days my visits to the eye doctor is increasing, frequency is increasing. Now, previously I didn't visit the ear doctor, now I have to visit the ear doctor also. And so I know parinami, clean parinami, because the capacity is reducing with time, changing with time. So it's sense organs definitely parinami. But here being manomaya kosha and highlight being, see, Indriyas were included. Okay, Indriyas are going to be included later also. In the Vijnanamaya Kosha also, Indriyas will come. I'll talk about it later. But the uniqueness here being Manas, and Manas is definitely Parinami. It cannot be Avikaryaha or it cannot be Nirvikaraha. That's what he's saying. Parinami,
Can
change.
can we take this? So it is anatma. It is
Correct.
anatma. That is what it is proved here.
Uh, Sorry, I can't hear you properly.
Now we can take that this Manomaya Kosa is also anatma, and it is proved here by all these points.
Correct. That is the point. That's the whole point. How can Manomaya be Atma? Means what? Manomaya is Anatma. Put it in the Anatma category. Just like I put Annamaya in Anatma category, like that I have to put Manomaya also in the Anatma category. Correct. That's what it is.
I couldn't understand. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, Ramuji, go ahead.
2-3 points, some observations. This Nirgalam, in Tamil it is called Utru, in Malayalam also.
One minute. One is not Nirgalam, it's Nirargalam.
Sorry, Nirargalam.
Okay.
So it comes like the Utru, in Malayalam also. And the wells and all the water springs up. So Utrulendu Varamari Pesharar, they say. So that word is used in Malayalam and Tamil for Utru or Uravu. Uravu is also not a relation, not the binding of relation. Uravu is also Nirargalam.
Yeah.
Uh,
Means relationships are natural. It comes unconstrained. That's what is being said. Yeah, good.
Urarvu has also got the meaning of a spring.
Okay.
That's what I want to point out.
Oh, yeah.
And then another, you talked about Vishaya. Vishaya becomes Visham when you are bound. Visham is killing. Recognizing and objectifying the objects as objects, you are free. And you do not, the Visham coming, and you do not allow the Visham to come through the 5-pointed inputs.
Okay.
So that is the Jnanendriyas.
Okay.
And
Good.
you talked about the mosquito during Vedanta class.
I just choose to talk, but yeah, I ended up talking about it, I
And
suppose.
just a joke about that. During Vedanta Sravanam in Zoom class, the mosquito musician helps me a lot, as it frequently awakens me up, directly singing into my ears, Mukari, which makes me wake up and listen again to the Ananda Lahari,
Very good. Very good.
Ananda Varshini.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramuji. Good. Yeah, Sita, go ahead. And then Meera.
Say, Guruji, same thing. That was my question. Like, why the mind is illumined by the Ananda Atma, then why it has to be dukkha? So I think that's what you are saying. Same point. And
Correct. Correct.
see, that is because of the ajnanam, we can say, right?
Yeah, finally, it's because of Ajnanam.
And
See, the mind, see, if the mind were in our control, can we ever be sad?
we don't want to be sad.
No, we don't want to be sad. We are very good at knowing what we want and what we don't want, and we are very good at keeping what we don't want away from us and keeping what we want close to us. We're very good. So if I had control over my mind, I would never be sad. I would never be sad. I would never allow the mind to be sad, in fact. Good job, dog, Chup. I do, but no, it's very obvious that I have no control over my mind. That is the meaning Shankaracharya is saying. Dukkhatmakatvat.
On Sunday, Swamiji said something about likes and dislikes. We often get let us be dictated by our likes and dislikes. And I think he said that we should not let our mind, ourselves be dictated by our likes and dislikes, and accept and go with the flow. Am I correct?
Accept and what?
Go with the flow.
Oh, go with the flow. So the question is what? Accept the likes and dislikes and go with it.
Yeah.
So go with it means, that's the question. Go with it means what?
Exactly. So if things are bad, okay, we accept they're bad and we go with it. Or do we take a correction course?
I don't know. It all depends, no? It all depends. So if I like to be healthy, but if there is some problem in the body, I don't go with it. No, I have to immediately take some corrective action. The sooner I take the action, the sooner I can get back to normalcy. So whether that action might be to just let go, but they're letting go maybe, okay, it'll take its own course, 3-4 days, 5 days, cold. So all that is there, but you have to take action. Certain things you have to take action. So
Guruji,
it is no. So Swamiji would never say just what is the intention there is, don't be carried away by likes and dislikes. Don't be carried. Tayoho na vasham agachet.
Guruji, I have a question.
If you want to know more, I'll put in a plug here. You can come to our camp in January 7th in Anaikatti. One of the topics is Tayoho Vasham na agachet.
Guruji, it is related to this one. Isn't what Adi Shankaracharya is saying here is identifying or disidentifying from the Manomaya Kosha will not give you dukkha. Dukkha might be there, but once you disidentify, like what he's saying, it is anatma, then maybe it is there, but it won't affect you. Like, isn't that what he's trying to tell in this, more than just letting it go or anything like that? When we are doing the kosha viveka, we are talking more about disidentification. Am I correct when I think like that?
Yeah, you are not Manomaya. You are not the
Yeah.
mind.
So whether dukkha
It's a
is there, it
statement of
won't affect
fact.
us.
Therefore, if I identify with the mind, which has been my habit all along, in fact, when I become sad, I identify with the mind completely. You have just effortlessly, I become sad. I get whatever my mind says is what I am. There is, in fact, you can't separate the two. And so, thanks to the Shastram, otherwise, there is no sanity possible. Correct? Management is possible. We're all good at managing our life and our sadness and all that. But all management category. But here, fact is being stated. So what you said is right. I have to quote unquote disidentify with the mind.
So, but
Disidentify.
that also happens in the mind, right, Guruji?
Yeah, that is okay. Correct. Good point. That also happens in the mind. That's buddhi will come later. Vijnanamaya kosha is coming later. So it is next. Buddhi is we have not talked about. So there is a buddhi which is anyontara atma manomayaha. La anya sava yesha purusha vidayeva tasmad va etasmat manomayat will come later. There is another thing which is inside the Manomaya called Vijnanamaya. That's coming next. So Vijnanamaya is the guy who decides. Who decides. And so yeah, we are blessed with the capacity to say who I am and who I am not. We are blessed with the capacity to say I am identifying with something that I am not. Like the way I identify with my children. Sometimes children means I. Children are mine, but sometimes children becomes I. How? Because when they suffer, I also suffer. That's how it is. So there, here mind also same thing. I understand first that I identify with the mind completely. 100% IQM is there with the mind. And slowly I have to remind myself. When will I remind myself? Ideally, I should remind myself when I am in grip of sorrow. But that won't happen. So I remind myself when I'm happy itself. Better do the Nididhyasanam when I'm happy. Only then it will come in handy when I'm sad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one
Good
more
point.
question, Guruji.
Yeah.
Adyantavatvat. So that part is, can that also be, when the mind itself is the thought, can it also be that one thought ends and the other thought comes? So it's Adyantavatvat. Like,
Correct. So yeah, if you take the mind as an object, then it is Adyantavatvat. And since it is not an object like this body, which has a discrete shape, okay, mind has no shape. Its only shape is thought. Its only content is thought. If you take the thoughts out, there is no mind. And so, if you look at mind that way, then Adyantavatvat, every thought, whenever there is a thought, the mind is born, as it were. And the thought dies away, mind is dead. And so, it is constantly it has a beginning. See, ideally, you can say that, but really, our mind is never like that. Our mind is never like that. There is,
Shakti.
there is never a time when the mind is thoughtless. How do you know? How do you know that? Can you say there is some period during the day when the mind is thoughtless?
Nature abhors vacuum.
Nature abhors
Vacuum. Vacuum cannot
vacuum.
exist.
No. Nature abhors vacuum and all. No, see, I'm asking a simple question.
I
Can
don't have
any
a
of...
thought itself is a thought, I think.
No, that's okay. Suppose you don't have the thought, I don't have a thought. Suppose.
That
Is
is
there
a
any
thought.
time? Is there any time when you can say my mind is blank, thoughtless? Sometimes we say no, blank. My mind went blank. Like that we say.
It can happen
During
when you're in
sleep,
shock.
is it possible for the mind to
Sushupti, what about Sushupti Avastha?
No. During waking state, there are instances where
Yeah.
the mind resolves. When you look at a beautiful thing, what you like. There are instances when you look at some ocean or something, it just resolves temporarily.
Yesterday, Swamiji was asking, right? Like when think of a car and think of a tree or whatever, like in between those two, who are you? Like that. Yesterday, Swamiji was.
Correct. Correct. So in between, oh, who are you? We don't spend time thinking about it. We are actually happy because of those moments. Those moments. And then what happens? When you experience something that you like this ocean and all Meena was saying. When you experience something that you like, then you don't know what to think. What will you think when you look at an ocean? You're just awestruck. What is the connection between me and the ocean? So massive, so vast. And what can there be a creation like this? You can't think about anything. You just can't think. That's why the mind becomes calm and therefore happy. Look at that. Mind is calm because I really don't have anything to say about the ocean. Who am I to talk about the ocean? Or the elephant is coming and doing something and it is doing pranam to you. It's doing pranam to you means what? You don't say, oh, I'm greater than elephant. No, you're amazed at this stuff. You're just amazed. Amazed means what? Nothing to say. So when you have nothing to say, then the mind becomes calm and it becomes happy. Happy. So who created happiness?
It's the internal happiness that has shown up because the agitation has decreased, right? It's just presenting in
Mind
a...
is calm,
Yeah.
Atma shines through it, I think.
How can not thinking create happiness? It's amazing. But that is the nature. That is how it is. And so that's why sometimes not thinking is useful. They say you're thinking too much. That's why you're stressed. Yeah, but I need help. You're telling me something that I know already. Give me some good advice. I don't know how to not think too much. Can you teach me that? So, see, that's how it is. This is the strange thing it is. So, therefore, see, Sita, you're right. Adyantavat, that was your original question, I think.
Yeah, Adyantavatva.
Adyantavat. So, okay, in between thoughts, also there is some joy. There is some freedom from any thought. Freedom from any thought means that Atmananda is expressed. That is why deep sleep. Deep sleep is the only period when for an extended period of time we don't think of anything. And therefore automatically we are happy. That means what? Did I create happiness? No. If for me to create something, I must put some effort. What effort is there in sleep? Zero effort is there. That is a clue for me that Ananda can never be produced. It is always there. Only Dukkham can be produced. Okay. Adyantavat is for all thoughts. Adi anta, you can say. But you you can stretch it to the entire day. Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamiji stretches this to the entire day. Shushupti kale manaha nasti. And then Jagradavasthayam manaha asti. So Adi Anta. He started. Anta towards the end of the day. So that is the Adi Anta. And Paramarthanandaji gives the whole idea of Srishti, extends it throughout the Srishti. And say, yeah, thoughts are going up and down, but the mind is unmanifest maximum. It's an entity, therefore it must be unmanifest. Unmanifestation is not death. So the real death, if you want to talk for the mind, it's a very long period. Very, very long period. And even though it is long, it is still Adivat and Antavat. Okay?
Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah.
He talks about Anadimat also as regards mind.
Okay. Anadimat param brahma nasattanna saduchyate.
13th chapter. Gneyam. It comes in Gneyam. Gneyam yat tat pravakshami.
Mohaniji is good, huh? She's mapped out the entire Bhagavad Gita in her head. She looks like she can pick out all these shlokas.
She
Very good.
memorized Jaykumar.
She memorized the whole thing.
I'm
Ah,
trying. I'm trying.
very good. Very good. Very good. Now, memorization is one thing. That is one step. Next, you pull a shloka, somebody says shloka, you tell me where it is means.
Because I
That's
have to read it with meaning. I can't memorize without the meaning. So I'm going through Swami Paramarthananda's book
yeah,
to kind of read. So that helps.
correct, correct. Very good. Good, ma.
Just
So nice. Yeah.
one small comment.
Yeah. So Guruji,
Yeah,
on the
Ramoji, let's hold on to comments first. Questions are waiting. Meera and Mahesh and Hema are there. After that, you can come, Ramoji. Yeah, go ahead, Meera.
So, Guruji, this is Dukkha Atma Tattvad. I mean, the previous shloka says, Kosho Mama Aham Iti Vastu Vikalpa Hetuhu. So, that itself says that's the cause for Dukkha.
Now, he didn't use the word dukkha for that. He just gave the attribute of the mind. Vastu vikalpa hetu. Different objects, it can paint different objects. Within seconds, it can paint objects.
So, no, but he
But it
says
doesn't,
Mama.
it doesn't say dukkha. It doesn't say dukkha there. Does
No, he
it?
says Mama Aham Iti.
Yeah, mamaham. Where is dukkha in mamaham? Tell me.
Mama Aham is Dukkha only, no?
That is what next sloka is telling.
Correct.
Next sloka.
So one more sidelight, Guruji, is we say Manomaya Kosha is Sukshma. So that it means basically it's much more pervasive. Normally, modern science says manas touching the head. So I was reading a couple of days ago, and they say that there is a specific type of nerve cell associated with the mind. Now they have started recognizing those kind of nerve cells even in the muscles.
I see.
So that means it is becoming more pervasive. I mean, other than the normal understanding saying everything is in the brain.
I see. Interesting.
Mm.
Very interesting.
Then
Good. We'll see. We'll follow
So,
that research. See
Guruji,
what they say.
one observation, I don't know if I'm right. I feel as it gets subtler, it behaves as though it is independent, right?
Yeah. Atma Vatvat means independence, no?
Hmm.
Atma is independent or dependent?
Atma is is.
When we ask questions about Atma, people start showing like this. Atma. Did you notice it? Without our knowledge, it happens. Atma is. So, Atma is independent. Swatantraha. And so, yeah. So, Shankara's three definitions. Atma, what is it? Atma Bhutahava. So, Atma Bhutaha. So, therefore, more like Atma means more independent. Correct. What he said is right.
So that is why the error is more, impactful when it is subtler. Because it is easy to say body is not me, but when it comes closer and when it is more pervasive, the error is not, you can feel the impact, but it's not able, you can't, separate yourself from the error. It needs a lot of understanding. Because it behaves independent, right? Then it makes me feel I am independent, whatever thoughts is what I am.
Yeah. No, all that is correct. All that is correct.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, Mahesh and Hema. Then Ram.
Namaste, Yamaji. What is the meaning of Abhipurya?
Abhipurya. Purnam Kritva. Purayitva. Having filled up. Having completely filled up. That is the meaning of Abhipurya. Now let's look at Swamiji's meaning. What does he say? Having completely filled up. Drashta, where is that? Abhipurya, he says, pervading the pranamaya. Pervading. That is the meaning of Abhipurya. I think that's correct. Pervading. Pervading means completely filling up.
Okay.
Abhitaha. Abhitaha means all round. Abhitaha is all round. Purya. Purayitva. Yeah.
Few minutes ago, I think one of the questions, I think some mentioned that mind cannot be controlled, right?
Okay.
But Shama is control of mind, right?
So the question is?
Means, how can we say mind is not controllable? Or how can you say you should control when it's not controllable? I can go either way.
Right. So there is a spectrum. Totally uncontrolled, this side. This end of the spectrum is completely controlled. We don't use the word control, really speaking. But we'll come to that. Completely uncontrolled means just running amok. That is this mind. This is the racing mind. Correct? And we say, what is Shama? Shama is saying, hey, bring some semblance of control into this mind. So at least it's available for you for the things you love to do, important things you want to do. Use the mind. Okay, so that means some semblance of control must be there. Then we stretch it even more. By abhyasa, what happens? Abhyasa, there is abhyasa there involved. So we are trying to bring more and more control to the mind. Okay. 100% control means the mind will not think of anything unless I will it. Unless I will it. Correct? Uncontrolled means unwilled. Control means 100% willed. See, Shama, what does Shama do? This whole process of going from here to there is Shama. Mastery of the mind. But even a person who has Shama, can the person say, all thoughts will ask my permission before coming? No, it doesn't. Because you open your eyes, suddenly thoughts come. They didn't ask my permission. I have Shama also, suppose I claim. Then no thought. Therefore, this 100% control is not needed. 100% control is not needed. Let me boldly say that. It's not needed. The mastery of the mind. Means the thoughts will come, but they don't decide who I am. They don't carry me away. Like Ravana carries away Sita, nobody carries me away. No thought can carry me away. That is the mastery. So therefore, look at that. Therefore, Shama is what? Not 100% control of the mind. Not every thought asking for my permission before it manifests. No, it is not possible. It's not possible. That is why we say. So that's how you reconcile those two, Maheshji.
No, I think maybe a better way to put it is, I thought, based on this explanation, that when Shama is not control of mind, it is that you are no longer affected by what is affected by what comes through the mind. Is that a better way to say?
Yeah, that's why we say mastery of the mind. That's why we don't say control of the mind. Mastery means what? What you just said is mastery. What you said is mastery. No longer carried away by the things that happen in my mind. I will pay attention to what's happening in my mind. I can't ignore things that are happening. Reality can't be ignored. So I will pay attention. But I will take the time to assess it. That is called what you just said.
The last question is about this, Vijnanamaya Kosha is going to come, but that is about Buddhi, right? And my question is, I thought, in my mind, mind is more pervasive than Buddhi. In the sense, Buddhi can be objectified. mind cannot be objectified. And so, and it is, to me, looks like it is more subtler, because of which I thought, because we are going for more subtler and more subtler, right? We started with Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha. So I thought Manas should come after Buddhi.
We will see what Shankara says and
Okay.
about Buddhi before we put forth
Because
our own
based on
ideas.
our definition of Param, or things which more closer, more subtler, more pervasive, to me, mind is more pervasive. Buddhi is not very pervasive.
Okay.
Not that. And
All
I
right.
can point out an object with this is Buddhi or brain, whatever you want. If you want to call that physical brain, unless you call Buddhi something else, the power which drives the brain, I mean, that may be a different.
So we'll see. We'll cover Vijnanamaya, then we'll address your question. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Mahesh.
So,
Hemavati Shankar.
sorry. Since on the topic, I just wanted to ask, it is not about controlling the mind, it's mastering the mind, is what you were saying. So, mastering the mind or managing the mind. Thoughts
Correct.
come and go. So,
Correct.
we observe the thoughts and we let the thoughts go because we can't stop the flow of thoughts. Would that be right?
Correct. During Deepavali, sweets will come to your house. You can't stop it. I'm trying to give examples. What to do? Teacher has to give examples. So I just came up with something. Sweets are coming. So many neighbors are there. Everybody. You also give them something. They also give you something. So now your house also is filled with variety of sweets. You can't stop it, correct? Why you can't stop it? Because that's the Utsava. This whole Utsava is hinging on this. So you are not going to stop it. You can't say, oh, I'm diabetic, I don't need. Is that what you say? No, you don't say it. But once they are at home inside, you can decide what to do with it. That is in your control. So like that, thoughts will come. We don't control which sweet comes to our house. And so, like that, exactly like that. Thoughts will come. They can disturb us. Thoughts can come and just rock us, push us from one way to the other. And I'll get lost. I can get lost. So we need something. In those moments, we need that's the time when we need some help. Other
Truly.
thoughts can simply talk and walk away. But when trauma strikes,
The triggers also. There are
yeah,
those triggers that normally you're calm, but there are those triggers that will take you out of your calmness.
completely uproot you. Just
Yeah,
past something happened, it just uproots you. Or you
totally.
were well all along, suddenly your just mind is running amok. And you're upset, you're furious, you're emotional, and you don't know what to do. Correct?
We are taking out our anger, past anger, whatever it is. So that is what I'm trying to deal with, my past triggers.
Now everybody is dealing with that, not just you, but I appreciate your sharing that. But we have to deal with it. So, but we don't deal with it by saying, by ignoring the past or pushing it under the carpet. No, that is dangerous. You have to find a way. When anger is there, I have to tell myself, I'm furious now. I'm furious now. I can't function. Anything I do now will be fraught with danger. Either I'll verbally abuse somebody, or I will hurt myself, or any decisions I make now will not be proper. So I have to tell myself first and foremost, just shut off I'm not going to, even if a phone call comes, I'm not going to pick up the phone. These decisions I have to make. I have to get used to making all that. And so at least when I'm angry, I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not creating more problems for me. I'm only left with myself and my anger. First step, very, very, very first step, before managing anger and all that stuff. Then I have to offer it. Swamiji's idea, he gives this example all the time. He says, take a big turkey towel, the bath towel, big bath towel. You wet it, soak it in water and wet it. Go lock yourself in the restroom and then beat the wall. Beat the wall because I'm angry, no? Furious, you feel like kicking and punching somebody. If that is the anger you have, then punch the wall, hit the wall. Don't hit anybody. Get the anger out. And guess what? That noise of the pounding of the towel against the wall, okay? And then after some time, you keep on beating and you say, Abba, finally, I got my anger out. So that is needed. That is needed. I have to do it. Otherwise, this anger will stay inside. How will it go? How will it go? Because that past trigger continues to be there. I can't remove the past. Nobody, Bhagavan also cannot remove the past. My memory is also there. I will remember the past. Past cannot be changed. My memory of the past also, thank God, memory is there. So the past memory also will come. I don't want to change any of that. Forget that person. Means forget the person means what? Hey, mind, the beauty of the mind is it remembers things. So you can't ask me to forget something. And the more you tell me to forget something, the more I remember that thing. Forgetting and all is not a solution. All wrong advice it is. They be good meaning advice. Forget it, they say. That's fine. What they mean is don't think of that. But there also, if you don't have a choice, you got to work on it by releasing that anger. You have to release the emotion somehow in a very safe way. That is called safe way. That's why Swami said, go to the lock yourself. I don't anybody see this also because then they will ask what happened to you and all they will say. So we don't need anybody involved in this. Just me and my anger. Beat the wall with a wet towel because then only that tagada sound will come. Then only that you feel satisfied after that. Then you find calm. How can you be calm with shock and anger? That's how it is. All these emotions are like that. They just come like a tsunami and then they just die down. You have to allow the tsunami to come. And that is the catch. That is where we need help. We need help. And no psychologist can remove anger from a person. They can only teach the person how to manage anger, how to let it out responsibly. Then that person is a great psychologist. Because that person accepts this is how life is. And there is a safe way of doing it. There's an unsafe way of doing it. Allow it.
There's a lovely movie called Anger Management by Jack Nicholson is there in it.
What name of the movie, please?
Anger Management.
Okay.
It's a very good movie where he insists that he's not angry, which itself is a wrong notion. A person doesn't get angry, that he doesn't get triggered. But then the movie is all about expressing his anger, and towards the end, finally he explodes in anger because it's all suppressed in him.
Then the movie ends with a nice tune.
Yes.
Everybody is happy from here on. Like that it ends. Yeah. Interesting. We don't hear of these movies. I don't know why. Jack Nicholson is a nice actor. But anyway, anger management. Very interesting. Thank you. Hemaji, go ahead.
Namaste, Guruji. There was a discussion on what happens between thoughts. Is there a gap between thoughts? So that many times I've experienced, in going for a beautiful music concert, especially in a very slow kriti. I mean, for example, I had written a review some time back. There is one kriti in Neelambari of Muthuswami Dikshita, Ramba Neelayadakshi. The talam also Ramba Chauka Kalam. And some artists, they really sing it very slow. MD Ramanathan type Mari, Ramba Medua Padua. ஒரு அது பல்லவியை ஒரு லைனை முடிச்சுட்டு before he takes up the next one, there is no sound. The violinist will be quiet. Mridangist, because there's nothing is being sung. So Mridangist cannot play. Just a very mild this thing of that tambura will be there. But in that pause, ஒரு ஆவர்த்தம் or chaputalam or two ஆவர்த்தம் of that chaputalam, that full Neelambari will be there. You know, it's like a blank canvas. All along there were a lot of things there. And suddenly everything is removed. The various sangatis, everything goes off. In that big canvas, only that Neelambari, she takes some form. I don't know what. Because I am a fanatic of Rasika. I am. Many times I've felt that, you know. And also one more experience. I used to play Veena. I say I used to because nearly 10 years since I touched my Veena. And 15 days back, a young friend here, he has a Veena at home. So he called me home. He said, Mummy, வாசிங்கோ. நான் சொன்னேன், வீணை தொட்டே ரொம்ப வருஷம் ஆச்சுரா, எனக்கு ஒன்றுமே தெரியாது. இல்லை மாமி, ஏதாவது வாசிங்களேன் பார்க்கலாம் அப்படின்னு. He just suggested, I mean, he asked me ஒரு சாங் சொன்னான். I had learnt it. வீணையை கையில் எடுத்தேன். எனக்கு ஒரு லைன் ஸ்வரம் ஞாபகம் இல்லை, சாகித்ய ஞாபகம் இல்லை, ஒன்றுமே ஞாபகம் இல்லை. But the minute I just played the Arohanam, Avrohanam, whole song I could play. பாடி வாசிச்சு முடிச்சுட்டு நான் எப்படி வாசிச்சேன்? பிகாஸ் என் மைண்டில் ஒன்றுமே இல்லை. சம்படி திங்ஸ் மனசில் ஸ்வரம் வந்துதா, சாத்தியம் தான், ஒன்றுமே வரல. பட் மை ஃபிங்கர்ஸ் சீம் டு நோ மசில் மெமரி. ஐ டோன்ட் நோ. ஆஃப்டர் 10 years, except that, வீணை வாசிச்சா கையில் லைன் வரும். I mean, பள்ளமாக இருக்கும். ஸோ இட் மூவ்ஸ் ஃபாஸ்ட் ஆன் த ஸ்ட்ரிங்ஸ். That was not there because என் ஃபிங்கரில் லைன் எல்லாம் போயிடுது. Except that I could not play it fast. The whole song I could play. But என் மனசில் கேட்டால் எனக்கு ஸ்வரமும் ஞாபகம் இல்லை, சாகித்யமும் ஞாபகம் இல்லை. I don't know what you attribute that. So that is just, in between thoughts, if there is a pause, what happens in the pause? I mean, this is may not be very much related to what we are talking. Just on my experience, I thought I should share. Thank you, Guru.
Thank you, Hemaj. Good. Okay, Ramuji, go ahead.
Sorry that talking about Hemaji's things. Everybody thinks Ramu as a dustbin in Ananani. They dump all the unwanted books, unwanted CDs, unwanted cassettes and all. Last week only one lady dumped about 30-40 Carnatic songs, CDs. Somehow I had to make a from refuse I had to make a treasure. I have to extract the audios somehow, but we don't find an audio player, and the computers doesn't come with the CD player or the DVD player now. So like last year, somebody dumped on 250 audios and DVD CDs of Swamiji and Puja Swamiji and Brahmavidananda, Tattvavidananda and TV Swamiji, and that I copied and gave you remember. Like that, this is continuing. And talking about...
So that Ramuji is good with that ability to revive things that you would normally trash. Okay, normally put in. So what he did recently, he come to my apartment and he said, "What, you don't have a table that sitting?" I sit down on the floor and then I work. And so he said, "Will you be interested? I can make a table for you." I mean, he must have made it before. I make it. So he makes stuff, furniture and all. And so one fine day he got me a nice big platform table where I can keep my laptop, I can keep my books and write everything. It's low level table, right? Sitting on the floor. And not only that, then some pipes and all were there. Some plastic pipes also he got. I said, "What is this plastic pipe doing here?" He said, "If you want to raise the table, then you can put the plastic pipes on the stem of the legs of the table. And these are a bit longer. So you can raise the height of the table." Like that, those pipes are also there. So he's very good with his hands. Very good.
The table was prepared by the carpenter only.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. Like that,
Yeah.
I also make. Yesterday also some old table, I revived it using the carpenter. It will be useful for someone. Like that, CDs also I revived it. I am reviving it still. And Hemaji can have a treasure if she wants. And And talking of cycles, you said you rode a cycle and you bought a cycle and you are the person only riding. Last 50 years, 60 years, I have been riding a cycle, except for a brief period when I was in Muscat. So I am the only man in Nananani who is having a cycle for going out. Of course, now it is reduced little bit because of the dogs are chasing and I can't ride safely. Previously, I used to go for 5-6 kilometers in the early morning when I was not attending classes and all. After 5:45, after coffee, I used to ride 4-5 kilometers and come back. Now I am not able to do that because with class and all these things have stopped. After the COVID, everything stopped. At least once in a week, I take the cycle and go. Last week only, I purchased a new cycle and I had to assemble it and ride it. I had to give it for refitting because it came from that online. So I had to refit it cycle. So I will always have a cycle. For last 60 years, I had a cycle from Palakkad, from Bombay, from here in Nananani and all. Question, mind is pervasive than the buddhi and all. There are this thing. And Swami Partharthi's book, there is a drawing called Sane Insane Drawing. 180 degrees. Sane insane drawing. I will send you that drawing.
Yeah.
Where he
Thank you,
explains the concept of the mind control.
Thank you. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalashahastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.